Can you believe that women can be more lustful than men? I didn't believe it before, but today I do, and it seems the more beautiful they are, the more lustful they become. Imagine encountering such a woman. What would you do? A woman was taking a taxi alone late at night, but once in the car, she began to make inappropriate advances on the driver. The driver resisted, saying, "No, I'm driving, you can't do this." Later, she touched his lower abdomen, and the driver, unable to tolerate it any longer, chose to call the police. How did this situation unfold, and what was the outcome? Stay tuned as I walk you through the events. In 2021, at a police station in Shuangliu District, Chengdu, the urgent ringing of the phone broke the silence, instantly putting the officers on edge. One officer answered the call, and on the other end, a man, choking back tears, said he had been sexually assaulted. You might think the police were shocked by this, but actually, they weren't. Chengdu is a progressive and open-minded city, and it's not uncommon for there to be 1 or 2 cases of same-sex assaults each year. At that moment, the police assumed that a man had assaulted another man. After receiving the call, 2 experienced officers, Officer Zhang and Officer Wang, were dispatched to handle the situation. They quickly arrived at the scene described by the caller. The man, visibly distressed, immediately started sharing his story with the officers. After some comforting words, the man gradually calmed down and explained what had happened an hour earlier. The officers were shocked by what they heard. Earlier that night, around 9 p.m., a Didi driver named Cui received an order through the ride-hailing platform. The estimated fare was 88 yuan, and he was thrilled. But what awaited him was far from the easy ride he anticipated. Cui drove to the pickup location according to the navigation, and soon, a woman named Lu, who had placed the order, was helped into the car by a friend. After confirming the destination, the friend said a few words to Cui and then closed the door. The trip was about 40 kilometers, so it would be a relatively long journey. The passenger, Ms. Lu, appeared to be around 30 years old, wearing a fitted bodycon dress that highlighted her flawless figure. Her slightly tousled hair, flushed cheeks, and tear-filled eyes accentuated by the effects of alcohol gave her a unique, mature beauty. At first, Lu sat in the back seat, casually chatting with her friends over voice messages. But after about 10 minutes of silence, Cui suddenly felt a warm sensation on the back of his neck, accompanied by the smell of alcohol. Puzzled, he glanced in the rearview mirror and saw Lu blowing on his neck. Cui initially assumed she was drunk and gave her a gentle reminder, after which Lu returned to her seat. But what happened next is something Cui will never forget. She drank some alcohol and started trying to take off my pants, Cui recalled. She was touching my lower abdomen. I refused and told her I was driving, that this wasn't okay. Then she reached down and touched me below my abdomen. She said she'd give me 100 yuan for sex in the car, but I told her, no, it's not about money. She then demanded that I cancel the ride, but I said I couldn't because we hadn't reached the destination. Frustrated by his refusal, Lu seemed to hold a grudge. Once they arrived at the destination, while Cui wasn't paying attention, Lu reached from the back seat and grabbed his testicles. The pain was so intense that Cui immediately broke out in a cold sweat, feeling like he was going to pass out. Lu, however, took advantage of his distress and fled the scene. After lying on the steering wheel for about 10 minutes, Cui slowly recovered, though he was still in pain. To add insult to injury, Lu hadn't paid for the ride and even hung up on him when he tried to call. With no other option, Cui decided to call the police. After understanding the details, the police used the ride-hailing platform to find Lu's registered information through her phone number. They contacted her and requested that she come to the station for questioning. At the station, Lu admitted to intentionally assaulting Cui and skipping out on the fare. She explained that she had been drinking that night and was in a bad mood, so she wanted to vent. When the driver rejected her advances, she became angry and grabbed him as she was getting out of the car. Cui later went to the hospital for an examination, but fortunately, the injuries weren't serious. Lu apologized, explaining, I drank a little that night and was also ovulating, so I lost control. I hope he can forgive me. She compensated Cui with 800 yuan for emotional damages, and the case was closed. In the end, it's important to think carefully before acting. Lu's behavior was inappropriate, and the consequences could have been much worse. Don't you agree?